How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to be doing a transmission drain and fill on this 18 to 22 Honda Accord with a CVT transmission. Now, if you have a shift selector inside the vehicle like this car does, then you do have, in fact, a CVT transmission. If you have buttons in there, then you have a 10-speed AT, and this will not apply to you. And obviously, if you have a gear selector, then at that point, it would be a manual transmission, and again, would not apply. This is your part number for the one crush washer that you do need, and it looks like this. So one crush washer, you need 4 quarts of HCF2. Part number right down in here, 08200-HCF2. And it takes just about 3.9 quarts, so you might as well just put all 4 quarts in there. Unless if there's a leak, then obviously you're going to want to make sure you have a little bit more, maybe get yourself an extra quart. And all you're going to do is, and this will help the flow too, the plug right there, this is the fill plug. You're going to take some long needle nose pliers, or you can reach down your hand in there as well and grab onto the tab there, just like this. And as you can see, HCF2 is what we need for this vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and lift it at this point and get started. All right, so at this point, you would have the vehicle raised up using a jack. Make sure you use jack stands, use all the safety precautions. And we're going to have 1, 2 screws that need to come out, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 half-turn screws that also need to come out. If you live anywhere where the rust is an issue, these are probably going to be rusted, and I will use my impact driver to remove them, and then I'll install them with a Phillips, number 3 bit Phillips with some grease to keep these from becoming an issue and being an issue in the future services. So we're going to go ahead and remove that now and then get on with the drain. All right, so once again, impact driver here using number 3 bit. Very rusted, pretty typical once again. One, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then you need to slide this forward or backwards, let's just say. And these are usually pretty damaged already by the time we get to see them, so. All right, once the shield is off, you're going to want to loosen the drain bolt with the longer 3/8 ratchet and tighten it with a shorter one, unless if you have a torque wrench. And obviously, this will get torqued to 36 foot-pounds with that new crush washer that we talked about. This customer does have a leak going on over here, so we'll see if he wants to address that. But continuing with the video, we're going to break this loose, and it could be on the tighter side. So give it a good push. Now, I like to personally measure the fluid coming out, and you get a chance to look at the condition as well. So that's what we're going to do here. See if we don't make a mess here. And that's pretty typical color for this fluid. This car has about 80,000 miles or so. And we see some buildup on the drain plug here, and this is more than normal. If you see obviously some big chunks, then that would be a reason to have concern, but this is a fine. We'll get that cleaned up, get that new washer on there. We have a clean drain bolt here. We're going to put on a new washer here, fresh washer. So again, short ratchet, or better yet, a torque wrench. As you can see, it does not take much. So some people go ahead and crank on it, and that's never a good idea. Worst thing you want to do is strip the trans. Now, this won't be such a big deal, right? There's a small drain pan here. Although in most cases, there's no pan, and it's the actual case of the transmission, which could turn into big headaches. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean this off a little bit for the customer. I'm not sure yet what he wants to do, but we did show him already. So we're going to clean that off, and we'll just continue with the normal procedure at this point. All right, now we're going to pour in the fluid. As you can see, nice and yellow. These new bottles are very easy to pour versus the older ones. And last but not least, all right, so after test driving your vehicle, you're going to want to come down here and loosen its bolt and remove it with the 12 millimeter. I usually use a wrench. And at this point, you're going to wait for a trickle. And then once the trickle is completed, you just put the bolt back in. So at this point, I would be happy with it. Once again, put our level check bolt back in. Just a slight snug. And that's it. You don't need to go tight, go crazy once again. And you don't want to strip anything out. At this point, we will put the shield back on and bring the car back down. Put our screws back in. I did add some grease here, like I mentioned earlier. I am using my screw gun, although it does have a clutch, so we're not going to over tighten this. And these covers rarely come in good shape, so sometimes you do have to fight them a little bit. There we go. Let's get these started. Now we come here, put these half screws back in, half turn screws. There is 4 of them once again. And again, you have to play around with these shields. This one's been bottomed out a couple times, it looks like. It's a pretty bad design, in my opinion, but it's what we have to deal with. Turning my screw gun a little bit here for this one here. All right. Good. And last but not least, we'll clean this up a little bit here for him. All right, at this point, we're going to put our plug back in its place here. Again, using our long needle noses. And just make sure it's nice and snug in there, and you are good to go. So at this point, you are ready to go and enjoy your car for the next X miles until you're ready to change your transmission fluid once again. That being said, hopefully everyone enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all on the next one.